Hello. I hope that this audio is much better. I have on the microphone and I am trying to ensure that the audio and the visual is linked up and everything is working well. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you hear me. Give me a heart, or thumbs up or something, because the first time it was just not going too well. So we had to start it all over. So anyways, welcome to this week's Fiscal Finesse Flash. This is a weekly broadcast. It's every Tuesday, usually around 1 o'clock. But if I'm running a little late, it may be just a little later. Today I actually had an appointment with a client. So of course, people take precedence over process, right? Hashtag that, people over process. No, so yeah, I had an appointment with a client and it ran, well, actually we ended right at 1 and then I had to get something to eat. So that's why I'm running a little late today. So here we are. This is your Fiscal Finesse Flash. I am your host, Jenna Finesse Houston, and today we're going to be talking about credit. So if you have questions, please feel free to type them in, ask your questions. I am here to answer your questions. And that's the whole purpose of this. The whole purpose of the Fiscal Finesse Flash is to talk about personal and business finance and to give you all some insight into this world and to answer questions. And oftentimes the audience has a lot of insight themselves. So if you have insight on the topic that we're talking about, please feel free to chime in because that's what it's all about. Reach one, teach one. Okay, so we're always ever learning. We're always trying to grow in and of ourselves, right? All right, so let's jump right in. So the last time I made a post about doing it yourself credit restoration, at the end of the post, I went a little personal. And so eventually I deleted it. And so a couple of my clients were like, okay, I need to know what you had said on that post because you didn't deleted it. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. So as a result of that, I'm going to do it again because it's very important. In today's day and age, I'm a do-it-yourself person. I'm one of those people that I would rather learn, do it myself than to hire somebody to do it for me if I don't have to. Now, if it's time consuming or if it costs, if the cost outweighs the value, then absolutely I'll hire someone. But I'm the type of person that I'd rather learn it myself, do it myself. That way, if I have to do it again, I can do it again. So hopefully some of you guys are just like me. So when it comes to do-it-yourself credit restoration, there are a lot of different things out there online. There's a lot of different people that talk about what they can and should and woulda, coulda, all those things. So I'm going to give you the top 5 mistakes that are made when people are trying to restore their credit on their own. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot, because I encourage you to at least try to do it on your own. But what I'm saying is that you can make a lot of huge mistakes doing it on your own. So I'm trying to prevent you from doing that. So the top 5 mistakes that I've seen when it comes to credit restoration, number 1 is capacity. Okay, so if you're trying to either maintain or create a good credit score, the first thing you have to do is understand capacity. Capacity is worth about 30% of your score. So if you get everything else right, that 30% is really going to either make you or break you. And so here's the thing about capacity. If you have awesome, yes. Thank you for tuning in. I will acknowledge you guys in just a moment, but what I want you to do is if you have questions, please go ahead and type them in and I will answer them at the end. Okay, so if you have a credit limit of say $1,000, right? You want to keep that capacity low. Capacity means the amount that you actually use, right? So if you have a credit limit of $1,000 and you use anything above $250, that's 25% capacity. That's actually going to impact your score negatively. So you want to keep your capacity low, at least 25% or below. Now that number kind of fluctuates every now and again. A few months ago it was actually 30%, but the magic number right now is 25%. So just using real numbers, if you have a limit of $1,000, keep your capacity low beneath 25%. So your maximum on a card of $1,000 should be $250. When you do that, your score will essentially go up every single month, okay? So that's number one. If you're going to do it yourself, as far as maintaining your credit or improving your credit, you want to keep your capacity low. Number two, y'all got it? Hey, girl. No, let's stop. So number two, when it comes to improving your credit, the first thing that you want to do is take off derogatory items, right? So here's what we do wrong. Here's the number two mistake that we do as consumers. We send out all these generic dispute letters. Do you understand that the three major credit agencies receive about 20,000 pieces of mail per day? I'm still here. That's why I was blinking my eyes. No, 20,000 pieces of mail per day. So when you send those generic letters that don't say anything about the law, and you're saying stuff like, oh, this ain't mine, or all those different things that we say to dispute, right? If you're sending those generic letters, you're not going to get a favorable response. You will have to make sure that you're quoting the law, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, or the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So those are the laws that the credit agencies are subject to. So if you're sending a dispute letter, make sure that you're at least quoting what's in that law. Okay, so number one was keep your capacity low. Number two was do not send generic dispute letters. And also about those dispute letters, this is number three. Number three, y'all see my nails ain't done. That's very seldom that I don't have my nails done, but I digress. I'll be like, squirrel. No, anyways, so number three is do not dispute everything. Oh my goodness. Do not dispute everything. When you're sending off your letters, first of all, don't let them be generic. That's number two. But number three is do not dispute everything on your credit report. Here's why. Some of the things on your credit report are no longer relevant. Even though they look nasty, they look negative, it looks like, oh, it's in collections, it's whatever, all that good stuff. Oh, bad debt is actually working for your good because it helps you when it comes to your credit history. I'm sorry, not your credit history. When it comes to the length of time that you've had different credit. So if it's old, if it's older than 3 years old, don't mess with it. Leave it alone. Because what happens is you begin to wake up the dead. And so once you send out those dispute letters and those folks start to respond, then they're like, oh yeah, I forgot you even owed me money. How about that? Send me my money. And then it's like, oh my goodness, now they make that thing retroactive. And now, so something that was way back in 2014 last reported, now starts to report here in May of 2017. And so that brings that credit history beyond retroactive. So that gives you 3 years of negative credit history. So after so long, it's no longer affecting your score. After 2 years, no matter how derogatory it is, it's no longer affecting your score. So you need to be mindful of that. So that's number three. Don't dispute everything. Be mindful of how you dispute. That's the hugest mistake people make. They'll sit up there and they'll get their credit reports and they'll say, oh my goodness, all this looks negative. All this looks horrible. Let me dispute it. Because 9 times out of 10, no, not 9 times out of 10. That's a horrible statistic. Why do we say stuff that we've been taught? Okay, that was horrible. Erase that from your memory. It's not 9 times out of 10. Let's just say about 72% of the time. Is that a better statistic? I like that. 72% of the time, when you dispute items on your credit report, they do not respond. The creditors do not respond in a timely manner. And so the credit agencies will delete it. That is the law. So don't go disputing everything, but just be very strategic in what you dispute. Okay. So y'all got 1, 2, and 3, right? Y'all better talk to me. Tell me something. Y'all listening? Y'all got it? Huh? Okay. Number 4. This one's huge. This one is super duper huge. I see this all the time. Number 4 is do not agree to settle an account without getting some type of terms. Here's the huge mistake that people make. They feel like, oh, I paid that off. Why is it still on my credit report? You have absolutely no leverage after you've paid something off. They will continue to leave it there. It will not go away. It doesn't have to go away. According to the law, it can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. So before you pay something off, get some type of arrangements where you say, hey, I'm not going to validate this debt and say that it belongs to me. But what I will say is that it's affecting me negatively. And because it's affecting me negatively, I will pay it if you remove it. Doesn't that sound better? Those are the terms that you should make when you're disputing things, when you're paying things off, when you're settling debt. If you're settling an old debt, take it off my credit report, right? Because all they really, really want is the money. And so you have leverage when you're about to pay them money. So make sure that you are requesting that things be removed, okay? So number 1 is what? Capacity. Number 2 is what? No generic letters. Number 3 is do not dispute everything on your credit report. And number 4 is do not pay a settlement without getting any terms, okay? And then last, but certainly, I can't even talk. Last, but certainly not least, number 5. Oh, somebody just texted me, sorry. Here's the huge mistake that people make. So this is the last one, number 5. Do not, this is a big do not get additional debt in order to improve your credit score. That is just not smart at all. It's not smart. Do not get additional debt to improve your credit score. If you're going to improve your credit score, you need solutions that are not going to increase your debt. You need solutions that are going to improve your credit score and possibly even increase your savings account. So with the Fiscally Fabulous solutions, we absolutely have solutions available that not only increase your credit score, but do not create additional debt for you and also increases your savings account. So do not just go out and get a secure credit card, right? Because guess what's going to happen? If you have not changed your mindset, your habits will not change. And you will run that card up just like you've ran the rest of your cards up. So don't do that. If people encourage you to do that, tell them, you know what? You need a little bit more research. Don't do it. Don't do it. Get you solutions that's going to increase your credit score, decrease your debt, and increase your savings. Boom. If they can do all 3 of those are thebomb.com. Okay? So I'm going to run through it one more time. And if you have questions, this is the perfect time for you to ask them because I'm going to go ahead and address your questions. So number 1 is what? Keep that capacity low. Number 2, do not send generic letters. Number 3, do not dispute everything that's derogatory on your credit score. Number 4, do not agree to any settlements unless you have agreed to some terms of deleting from your credit report. And then lastly, number 5, do not get additional debt in order to improve your credit. Okay, so I hope this has been some useful information for you all. If you're going to do it yourself, do it yourself. If you're going to hire a professional, holla at your girl. This is what I do. I actually love to do it. And I see that there are several people already logged onto the line who have gotten some assistance from either Fiscally Fabulous or Financial Comfort. So if you have, please comment below. And we greatly appreciate it. Oh, I see all them hearts. Who is that? Heart, 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 heart. I love it. Hey. Okay, so let me see who's out here and let me see if anybody has any questions. So, hey, Hetty, how you doing? Ashante. Oh, girl, I'm getting with you today. Don't even worry, okay? All right, so, hey, Janet. Hey, Ngazi. Oh, this is what happened. Hey, Karen, how you doing? She said, I tuned in right on time. Absolutely. Hey, Linda and Janita. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, so Karen was just doing a recap. She said, keep that capacity low. Yes, ma'am. That's number 1. Janita, you have a testimony. She said, I'm so glad that I had you to write my dispute letters. Talk about that, Janita. How did your letters go? What was your response? What happened with that? So please type that in the comments. Karen was doing a recap. She said no generic dispute letters for number 2. Absolutely. And number 3, do not dispute everything. Yep, she got a question mark. You doing like this? The emoji that's like, Yeah, if you dispute everything, it's ridiculous, because if there's old things on there, you have to be very strategic on what you dispute, regardless of the amounts. It's really the time that's important. But if the amounts can be taken into consideration, but be very strategic about disputing. Okay. Hetty says, I'm waiting on 2 credit agencies. I received experience. What is the website for saving to build your credit score? Okay, so one of those, so there's several. The one that I really recommend is Digit. Digit, D-I-G-I-T. That is an app, actually. And I can send you a link, and the link will actually allow me to gain some money, and it'll allow you to gain some money. So text me, Hetty, and I'll send that to you. Okay? Karen says she's taking notes. Hey, Mr. Cole. She said, I got it. Hey, Christian. All right. And then, so I don't see any questions. I'm still scrolling, but let me see here. Hey, Elder Walker. Hey, Monica. Hey, Treva. Let me see. Okay, so Karen says, I'm in Jersey. How can we connect? So, Karen, that's a great question. Here's the thing. I counsel folks all over the United States of the America. So all you have to do is call me, 614-996-6976, and we can set something up. We can either do a Skype call, we could do a video chat. Time is of the essence, but distance does not make a difference at all. So I can help you no matter where you are, and would love to do so, okay? I think that's it. We don't have any questions. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If it's been helpful for you, please share with someone else. If people are going to do it themselves, do credit restoration themselves, I do not discourage you from doing it yourself. But if you're going to do it yourself, you really need to be mindful of the things that can help you. Okay. So this has been your Fiscal Finesse Flash. I appreciate you guys logging on. If you have any questions, I am available. My telephone number is 614-996-6976. I see Treva just shared the video. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, y'all. Continue to share. Continue to be in the know. Knowledge is power. And as we continue to get knowledge, we become more and more powerful. So y'all have a super duper awesome day.